Hey everyone, welcome to After Hours here at Linda's Electric Quilters.
Yep. Hey, I'm so excited.
What was that?
That was my hey. That's my allergy high.
That's your allergy high. I know you've been taking a lot of allergy medicine. The allergies have been something. That is definitely for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are super excited that all of you are here joining us tonight for this special thread education hour with the marketing and sales staff. Our team, parts of the team. From Hab+Dash.
Yes.
So we are super excited. They are patiently waiting backstage virtually. And we can't wait to bring them out to meet you and to go through their whole presentation that they have tonight. It is jam-packed.
Yes.
Full of information.
It is. It's going to be so fun. I just love having the ability to do this, right? The technology. Because back in the day, we didn't have this.
No. Well, back in the day, but yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all right.
Oh, you got my back, right, people? You got my back. Hello.
Hello. Well, it's exciting.
Anyway, so we are again excited that you are here, that you are watching. Hopefully you brought your questions for them.
Yes.
We are so excited about that.
Yes, they are super excited to answer those questions for you as well. So what we are going to do always before we get started, make sure that you subscribe to our channel. So it's going to be right down there at the bottom right-hand corner.
Yep.
After you click on that subscribe button, make sure you click on the little bell that shows up so you can get notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live here at After Hours.
Yes. Yay.
Okay, what else you got for them?
Well, we always like to ask a question, right?
Yeah.
So what we want to ask this time is we will just want you to put there in the chat. You'll see the chat, the live chat. What is your favorite thread? So while you're
answering, that's a good one.
So while you are answering that question, let's kind of tease them a little bit.
Oh, I like a good tease, and this is a good one. So the wonderful people of Hab+Dash have a great prize for those of you in store that wait till the very end to see how you can enter.
Yes.
And let me just give you a little sneak peek of what you're going to possibly receive if you win the giveaway.
Yes.
So this is a beautiful mini spool set. They're giving away 2 sets, and there's 30 spools in each set. And it's really cool. It comes in this nice carrying case. They'll give you like a little show of it at the end.
Yep.
But
along with some of the swag.
Oh, yes. You get
cool
water bottle, mug, pins, all sorts of stuff like that.
Yep.
So make sure that you watch to the end to see how you can sign up to win one of these amazing prizes from the people of Hab+Dash.
Exactly. So stay tuned, listen, because we're not going to tell you how to do it until the end.
Oh.
All righty.
Okay.
You ready?
I think so.
I think we should bring them on.
I think we should.
All right.
All right. Well, we have Gretchen and Presley waiting backstage, and we will bring them on, and they can introduce themselves, and we'll get going.
Yep.
So let's bring them in and say hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
How are y'all?
We're doing great.
Awesome. I think this is so cool because we've got Gretchen. She's up in Philly, correct?
Yes.
And I've got Presley over in Atlanta. So this is really cool to bring all together. We're here in Texas, which is a lot of fun. So we're going to let y'all two just kind of get right to it with your introduction, and then we'll move in from there. How's that sound?
Great. Sounds like a plan. I'll introduce myself first. Like Corey and Diana said, I'm Gretchen Scheck with Hab+Dash by Philtech. I am the VP of Marketing, and I'm currently based in Philly.
And I am Presley Griffiths, and I'm a part of the Philtech sales team, which also I represent Hab+Dash within the states of Alabama, Georgia, and Florida.
Fantastic. We are super excited. I know everyone watching is super excited. The chat is blowing up right now. So I know everyone else is super excited that y'all are here with us. So I know you have an amazing agenda kind of lined out for how you want to do things. Is there anything you want to say before they get started? I'm excited.
I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out to be on with us, so we can educate the customers and be educated at the same time, because we always learn something new when we do this. So thanks so much for taking your night, because it is night. I mean, you guys are an hour ahead when you're at to be with us, and everybody that's watching. We just want to thank you guys for watching. So let's get started.
Awesome. So all right, Gretchen, I believe you're up first, correct?
Yes.
All right.
So, I'm just going to dive right into it. So thanks everybody for joining. We're excited to be here. Thanks for inviting us, Diana and Corey. The first thing that we wanted to go over was just Philtech as a company. So I know there's a little bit of confusion about Philtech, Glide, Hab+Dash by Philtech. So Philtech is the overall company, and Hab+Dash is a division of Philtech. So Philtech is a manufacturer, a U.S. manufacturer of all sorts of different fibers. So we were founded in 1978, so we're a little over 40 years old, and we are a family-owned business. And like I said, we manufacture all of our fibers right here in the United States, which makes us stand apart a little bit nowadays, and we're very proud of that. And Philtech, like I said, manufactures a variety of different fibers. So the best way to explain the different types of fibers that Philtech manufactures outside of quilting, embroidery, and sewing fibers is by giving a few examples. So the fun fact about Philtech is that every single person in the United States uses a Philtech product every single day. They just don't know it. So if you are on a computer right now, or you've turned on a light switch today, you've used a Philtech product because we coat fibers that go underground for the internet. Or if my fiance and I just put our comforter on our bed for the winter time because it's getting cold in Philly, and that comforter is sewn together with thread that is manufactured in one of our facilities. If you've ever watched Pirates of the Caribbean, they have dozens and dozens of tea light candles in that movie, and all of those wicks are manufactured by Philtech. We also manufacture a variety of different fibers that are used in military tents as well. So we just have a broad list of different types of fibers that we make. We have 4 manufacturing facilities in Maryland and Pennsylvania and expanding distribution centers across the U.S. So we're growing, and our corporate headquarters is in Maryland. However, all of our Hab+Dash products are shipped from Pennsylvania, so kind of right on that East Coast area. So that's a little bit about Philtech. Not many people know that they use our products every day because we're kind of, all our products go into the end products. We don't really think about it. So Hab+Dash is a division of Philtech, and we are Philtech's wholesale e-commerce store. So it's a little confusing because people think of us as the Glide company or Philtech or just Hab+Dash. So it kind of it's a little confusing. So I wanted to explain just Philtech overall, and then Hab+Dash being a division of Philtech. And Hab+Dash is the only e-commerce side of the business for us, where we sell all things quilting, sewing, and embroidery, or try to. So we sell, our bread and butter is kind of fiber, given what Philtech is. So we manufacture all of our top threads in the U.S., things like Glide, Magna Quilt, Premosoft, but then we also source high quality notions as well to try to give everybody access to not only the thread, but all of the notions that they need for embroidery and quilting. And then on top of Hab+Dash being the division of Philtech, some people may know us as Bobbin Central, because that was our name as of like 3 years ago. We changed our name to Hab+Dash. And the reason we did that is because when we started the division of Bobbin Central, we were only manufacturing bobbins. So it made sense. We said, what do we name this division? We had this one bobbin that we had created called Magna Quilt, which we'll get into. So naturally, we just called it Bobbin Central. But our division has grown into so much more because we really listened to our consumers, listened to our customers and what they needed in all of their quilting and embroidery needs. And we kind of built this division from a bobbin. So that's a little background about Philtech and Hab+Dash. So I just wanted to start there. And then if you guys are ready, I can start diving into some products.
Yeah, I actually, that was a great history lesson there.
You totally gave me so many things. I was just like, I didn't even know that it did all of that, or that was crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind the company that people probably don't know for no reason. We don't say it out loud all the time, but it's a fun little history behind the company. So it's a great company.
Awesome.
All right, but yeah, if you want to dive into the first category, we're excited.
Let's do it. Okay, so like I just mentioned, Bobbin Central, or now Hab+Dash, was founded from the magnetic core bobbin. So Hab+Dash, or Philtech, being the actual manufacturer and Hab+Dash being the wholesale e-commerce site, Philtech manufactures this magnetic core bobbin. And we created it, I want to say maybe 20 years ago. So we are the original manufacturers of the magnetic core bobbin, which is really fun. And people usually know us as either the Glide company or the magnetic core company. So I wanted to first talk about Magna Glide Delights. So we have two different types of Magna Glide bobbins. We have Delights and then we have Classics. So Delights are the 40 weight tri-level polyester bobbin, and this is what it looks like. So you'll see one side looks like that, and then the other side, you can see that black circle is the magnetic core. And what you do is you take your metal bobbin case and you stick the metal or the magnetic bobbin core inside the metal bobbin case, and what it does is it creates really consistent tension, and it's not going to wobble on you when the thread gets lower on the bobbin core, and you can shake this all around and it's not going to go anywhere. So our customers really like it, mainly for the tension and because it creates that really consistent tension. And like I said, it's a 40 weight tri-level polyester, which means it's a high tenacity yarn, and it also has, which means it's really strong. So people love the strength of this polyester. And then also it has a really nice sheen to it. And I'll show you more when we get to the Glide section. You can really see the sheen. But what we do is we take the thread that's on the Glide spools to wind these bobbins so they're an exact color match. And they come in these great little jars. So these are the L size, and then we also have M size bobbins. So in the M size jar, there's 10 bobbins, and then the L size jar, there's 20 bobbins. So these are great little storage containers. You just twist off the cap and then access your bobbins. And these pre-wound bobbins really allow for extra string or extra thread on the bobbin cores, and they're one of our most popular products. So that's Magna Glide. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything in regards to important information. For the M bobbins, there are 132 yards per bobbin. And then on the L bobbins, there's 72 yards per bobbin. So you get a lot of thread on each bobbin. And we have about over 60 colors that directly match with our Glide top thread. I don't think I'm missing anything else. Presley, feel free to jump in if I'm missing anything. So anyway, so that's those are our Magna Glide bobbins, or our Magna Glide Delight bobbins. And then I can move on to Classics unless we want to pause for questions.
I think when it comes to questions, there were a few that had popped up, but I believe you answered. There was one that did pop up that I'm going to throw on the screen real quick. We had a question: do you need to remove the spring from your bobbin case in order to use these bobbins? And Gretchen, I can answer that if you would like.
Sure.
So there is a no backlash spring inside of your bobbin case that you will want to take out before you put these in. It has to make direct contact with that case, and that spring is in the way. So that will come out. Normally what we do, what we recommend would be to have a separate bobbin case for your Magna Glides, and then have your other bobbin case for ones that you wind yourself.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about taking that spring in and out and damaging it.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yep.
Great explanation.
Okay. Anything else we wanted to, any other questions?
I think everything looks good.
Okay.
Right now. Yeah, I think everything looks good so far right now, from what I can see.
Great. Well, then I'll briefly mention our Magna Glide Classic bobbins as well. So the Magna Glide Delight bobbins were the direct match to our Glide 40 weight tri-level polyester. Our Classics are the 60 weight filament polyester, which really just means that it's not going to have as much sheen as our Glide 40 weight, and it's thinner as well. So the 60 weight means it's thinner, so it's for more of your like delicate, intricate stitching. So people really love this if they're trying to piece something a little bit where they need to stitch a little bit smaller than what they would need for a 40 weight. And then these come in some bulk boxes, so a lot of bobbins for these boxes. And when it comes to yardage, the L bobbins have 130 yards and the M bobbins have 210 yards. And I think those are the main takeaways for the classics. They come in about 14 colors, so not as many colors as the Delights. But these are a bobbin that's great for something like embroidery projects as well. So for all of our embroidery customers, they most likely will use the classics, the Magna Glide classics. So a great embroidery bobbin.
Okay, we got some more questions we're going to pop over here for you.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's try this one. Would I need to use my tower gauge to make sure the number was the same, or just pop in the bobbin?
Yeah, so when it comes to this question itself, when you're using your toa gauge, you always want to gauge that new bobbin that you're throwing in.
Yeah.
You don't just want to toss it in and hope that it just go ahead and takes effect of what you're wanting. I use both Magna Glides and then my own personal bobbin sometimes, depending on what thread I'm working with. And I will always check that toa just to make sure that my number and my settings are exactly where I want them to be.
And so for settings, that was another question we had. What is the setting that you use for the, well, we'll just say for the Glide for right now.
Well, yeah, well, each machine is a little different. So I don't want to give you like one, this is going to work on your perfect machine.
Yeah.
But I would start at the 200 number personally on the toa gauge, and then you can work your way either a little tighter or a little looser, depending on the brand of machine you have.
Yeah.
They each take up thread a little differently. But normally starting at 200 and working from there works really well. I think mine for like a Magna Glide bobbin is like 205. That's just my machine personally. Each machine has their own personality,
and
as many of you know.
Always just check with the manufacturer on that.
Yes, always double check with the machine manufacturer.
That's a good question right there.
Which one?
Right there, because I don't know that one.
So this is a good one for Gretchen or Presley. Can you rewind your Magna Glide bobbin?
You unfortunately cannot. We have very special machines that wind that magnetic core. However, you can send your magnetic cores back to us and we will reuse them and recycle them. So it's a great little recycle program that we have for your magnetic cores.
Yeah, awesome. I saw that kind of on your website there at the bottom, your the recycle program, and I read through it. I thought that was really nifty, how it's done and how many get in the jar once they're done.
Yeah, exactly.
All righty. Let's just go ahead and jump into the Glide.
All right.
Who has Glide?
Okay, that's me. So Glide, and I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that's one of the popular products for our viewers today, since a lot of people call us the Glide company, which is understandable. So Glide is by far our most popular top thread. It is that 40 weight tri-level polyester, the same thread that's on those Magna Glide Delight bobbins. People love the sheen of it. So this is the color violet. So I think the sheen's kind of coming through that camera. So it just has a beautiful, beautiful sheen to it. It's the tri-level polyester. So again, it has that really good strength to it. And it comes in both the king spools and then also mini spools. So depending on your preference, or if you have a long arm machine, versus a machine that might like a mini spool, we have different put-ups. So the king spools have 5,500 yards and the mini spools have 1,100 yards. And we have over 270 different colors for Glide. So you should be able to find a color that suits your project. But we're also constantly coming out with new colors since we dye all of the thread in-house. We are trying to come out with new colors all the time just to expand our color selection. And then also wanting to note that we don't apply anything to make it have the sheen. So some people think that we put a special coat on it to make it shiny, but it's actually just inherently that shiny. It's the type of thread, and it's also the way that we wind the thread that gives it that beautiful sheen. And then something else that I wanted to note that I know just by going to trade shows is a little confusing to people is our Glide part number system. So a lot of people don't, they see a lot of different part numbers for all of our different thread lines. So I wanted to go over just our Glide part number system. So I'm going to show, this is our color card. So first we can see all of the beautiful glide colors. I can barely get it all on the screen. So those are all of our beautiful colors. And then on the back of the color card, so a color card is a great little tool to have. So I would strongly recommend purchasing one of these color cards just so you can keep track of all the colors you have versus all the colors that you want. And then we also have a lot of great information about all of our different thread lines that are on this glide thread color card. So the part number system, I'm going to hold it up. I think this is backwards, so I'm going to try to point correctly. But on this color card, it explains the glide part number system. So for glide part numbers, it's either going to have 450 or 410. The 4, it relates to the thread size. So over here. So the 4 means that it's a glide 40 weight, whereas if it starts with a 6, it's the glide 60 weight. And then it goes to 450, so 50 versus 110. Sorry, my finger is going the opposite. So the 50 relates to the 5,000 meter spool, so that's going to be our king spool. Whereas if it says 410, the 10 relates to the 1,000 meter or our mini spool. So that right there gets everybody on board with the first 3 digits. But then it gets a little more confusing with the numbers over here. So the first number correlates with the color group. So all the 1000s are black, whites, and grays. All the 2000s are browns. All the 3000s are blues, and so on and so on. So if the part number starts with the number 7, then you know it's going to be in the reds, in the color in the red group. And then after that is the Pantone reference. So the last 3 or 4 digits represent the Pantone match. So that's a little overview of the part number system. I know it can be a little confusing for people. When you're in it, it just makes sense to you, and we talk about it all the time, so it just makes sense. But then we go to shows and we realize it's not that self-explanatory. So we decided to put it on the color card along with a lot of great other information. So highly, highly recommend picking up a color card just for a lot of useful information. So I'll stop there with glide. Do we have any questions that we want to answer about glide?
Yeah, we actually have a few good questions that have popped up. One of them is, what is the shelf life of glide? Which I think is a really interesting question.
That is an interesting question. One I've never gotten. Presley, were you about to say something?
Well, so with polyester in general, that's $1 million question. It depends on the humidity. It depends on if it's exposed to sunlight. Typically, polyester in the outdoors, I would probably say 5 years. If it is kept under certain conditions, I'm not positive on that. But if it's exposed to elements, probably about 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one. And then another good question that popped up was, can you use this long arm thread for embroidery?
Yeah. Yes. So all of our thread was actually originally manufactured for the embroidery industry, and then the quilting industry kind of just picked it up and loved it. So all of our thread is for quilting and embroidery.
Awesome.
Let's do one more.
Yeah, we'll throw one more in. Another cool one would be, how do you recommend storing different thread spools?
Ooh.
I can
Do you guys want to tackle this one?
I can take that one. When it comes to here in store and then back home at my studio and then through many other places that I've been, the best place to store your thread, in my honest opinion, would be in some type of closed cabinet. Yeah. You don't really want any exposure to sunlight or a ton of different elements. That's where the thread keeps its best life at. Give that shelf life, on the shelf. And so that has the best review that I've seen. I can keep thread for quite a much longer time in a closed cabinet, out of the sunlight, without getting dust on it and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah, we've kept some of the polyesters live for 10 years and haven't had any issues in using them at that point.
Yeah, no, I still have, from my first glide that I purchased was way back in the day. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, it'll last a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So let's go on. Let's move on.
Right. two other little things I wanted to mention about Glide is it's going to run virtually lint-free, which is great. And then also for the spools, just a fun little fact, we have this little pop out at the bottom and it has a little groove right here. And so what you can do is when you have leftover string, you can pop it through that groove, just like so, and then tuck it underneath the little snap it, and then it stays put. So it's a great little way to store the extra thread piece, and you can just cut the rest off if you don't want this long piece of thread. So just a nice little tidbit about how to use that little pop out of the spool. So the next thread line that we wanted to go over was Glide 60. So if you remember back with the bobbins, we had the Delights, the Magna Glide Delights. That is the same thread as the Glide 40 weight. And then we also had the Magna Glide Classics, which is the 60 weight filament polyester, which is exactly what the Glide 60 thread is. So this is a filament polyester, which essentially, again, means that it doesn't have as much of a sheen, but it still has that great strength that we talked about with Glide. And then this is also a bobbin thread, so you can wind your own spools. If you'd rather wind your own spools than have pre-wound bobbins, we highly recommend the Glide 60 thread. Again, it's thinner since it's 60 weight, so it's great for that kind of fine detailed stitching. So that's Glide 60. It's available in about 20 colors. So again, we're expanding the color line, constantly trying to dye more colors in our warehouses so that we can offer as many colors as possible, because we know how important that is. So I'm going to leave it there with the Glide 60. So if we have any questions, we can go over those as well.
Yeah, while we're waiting on questions to come in, I also have stitch out samples of both 40 and 60. I can show up to the camera. So let me bring those up there real quick so we can take a look. So this is going to be Glide 40. This is the bright turquoise color. Ooh, don't want to be all the way in it. But it leaves a beautiful stitch. Trying to not get it blurry. There we go. Leaves a nice, really pretty stitch on that one. And I like the little sheen on it. And then the bottom part of this is going to be the Glide 60. Let's see if I can get that. But the bottom portion of this is the Glide 60. A nice thinner thread. I liked it. I do it good with Stitch in the Ditch. It looks really nice with Stitch in the Ditch when you're using that Glide 60. You what?
There's a question right there.
Which one? This one?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Good question. Is the Glide thread, or the thread in general, is it made in the U.S.?
Yes, it is. It is. We have 4 manufacturing facilities in the U.S. in Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, let's jump on to the next one.
Okay, who's next?
Great. I'm going to hand it over to Presley.
Okay.
So much like Glide, we have a variegated option that's going to be a 40 weight polyester as well, and it's called Affinity. And you can see here we have a little over 25 colors in the Affinity. It is going to have, just like Glide, no lint, and it's going to be really pretty for certain types of quilts and embroidery where you're wanting a multicolored look. So there's a 1-inch color repeat on our variegated line. And I've seen beautiful like patriotic quilts stitched with this, and it just really adds an extra part to the quilt that you wouldn't get with just a solid color. It also isn't as shiny, or it doesn't have that sheen like Glide does. It's more of a matted look.
Okay.
Cool. I have a sample of that too if you want me to show it real quick.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We'll pull it up real quick. Switch cameras. So this is the Sunset Affinity. Nice color change. I'm trying to keep it from, there we go, nice focus. A nice color change. Those 1-inch variegations look really, really nice. Like I said, this is the Sunset one, but there are some really pretty options. I love the rainbows. The patriotic one is gorgeous. They're all really pretty. But the stitch out of them looks really, really cool.
Yep. And you might be noticing some of these little kits in the front here, and these are some sample kits that we will be talking about. So, that way you can actually purchase and try these out without having to get a huge spool of them all.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay.
All right, Presley, back.
Were there any questions about Affinity? Or we're good to move on to Magna Quilt?
I think you're good. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So, like Gretchen mentioned, we've been known for our Magna Quilt bobbin for forever. And just like Glide, we have this option available in both our Cairo quilt and also our Premosoft. So I'll first touch on the Magna Quilt. That's going to be our long staple Egyptian cotton. And what's really nice about a long staple cotton is that you're going to have less lint as opposed to a short staple. This is available in over 24 colors, and you're going to have that matte finish. And for the people who prefer to use cotton, this is a way for you to utilize our magnetic core, but with that cotton. And just echoing off of that, we also have Cairo Quilt, which is our top thread. That's a complementary product to our Magna Quilt bobbin. And here is just a sample of our Cairo Quilt color card. And you can see we have over 50 colors in it. And then we also have a variegated option there as well in the Harmony. So it also is a 50 weight and is going to perform really well, has less lint than some of our competitors. And we have just recently received raving reviews about our cotton top thread, and it just adds to our thread portfolio.
I think that real quick, just I know it's a natural break there. I had no idea that a long staple cotton produced less lint than a short staple cotton. Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm learning quite a bit here. I'm just sitting back. That's a lot.
I know. Our faces are great because we're just taking it all in.
We're just like, oh, okay.
We're
We need to brush up on our skills.
All right.
And then, here's a great question, real quick. Are the color cards the actual thread or are they an image? And that is a great, great question to ask.
Yeah, so we love a card winding. That's the only way to really view a good thread. And you can see, I'll try to get it close as possible. Hope that looks good to y'all.
Yep, looks good.
Good.
It's an actual card wrap with all of our thread samples, and you can actually feel the texture of the thread on all of our color cards.
Yeah, that makes it really, really nice. Another good question that we've got here is, can the 50 weight cotton be used for piecing?
So I've had some people use it for piecing.
Should be able to.
Yeah,
I guess it's personal preference, but yes, it can be used for piecing.
Yeah. And then a lot of people in the comments, super excited, didn't know about the long staple, want to try out Affinity, want to try out all these threads, loving all this information. So this is great.
All right, let's jump in.
Keep it going.
Okay, so if you don't like the sheen of Glide, have no fear. We have another option. And you're going to get the look of cotton, but with the strength of polyester. So that's going to be our Premosoft. And here is the color card on Premosoft. We have 88 colors available in Premosoft, and it really is the best alternative if you're not wanting the sheen. If you're wanting the matte, natural look, like you would with the cotton, this is the perfect thread for you. It's a 50 weight spun poly, meaning that it was just texturized to have a little extra fluff versus a multi-filament thread. And just like the Cairo quilt, we also produce Magna Soft bobbins as a complementary product to our Premo-soft top thread.
Fantastic. I have a stitch out of the Premosoft. And the Premosoft is actually new to me. When we had our first meeting with Gretchen, she said, have you ever heard of Premosoft? And I was like, well, I've heard of it on the website when I'm buying other stuff, but I haven't had a chance to really look at it. And she said, well, let me send you a spool. Let me see what you think. And well, yeah, thank you, Gretchen, for making me
You're Gretchen, for making me not have warehouse space. Anyway, let's go to sample.
So let me show you a sample of the Premosoft. Looks really, really nice. This is a hand-guided stitch out that I did here with the Premosoft, but this has that beautiful, nice matte finish. Stitched out really, really well. I kind of took it in multiple different angles here to try and put the thread to its, kind of test it as much as I could. And I really liked the way that it stitched out. Diana had to come pull me off the machine because I had other things I needed to be doing.
I know, he'll get back there and start doing some free motion, and I'm like, okay, where's Corey?
I was back there having fun.
So,
okay, let's see. Is the Premosoft lint free?
Yes.
That's a good one.
Well, it's lint free. It's more, it has less lint than a cotton thread would have. But we see very minimal lint with Premosoft.
Good. Another question that popped up. What was the weight of the Premosoft? I missed that one.
50 weight.
50 weight. Awesome. A lot of people haven't heard of Premosoft. They want to try that out. That's cool. I didn't either, so don't feel bad. So I think it's really cool. Also, as we're talking through this, you can purchase most of the supplies that they're talking about on our website right down there, longarmsupplies.net.
Looks like we'll be getting more. I'll have to find more warehouse space.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right, Presley, keep it going.
So those are all of our top thread options for quilting and embroidery, both thread and bobbins. So you have just a recap of Glide 60, which is going to be for your intricate stitching. We also have the Cairo quilt that I talked about, the Affinity, which is the variegated form of Glide. And then we also finished up with Premosoft, which is going to be your spun poly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. I don't know what y'all are thinking at home. I hope you are feeling the same way. But I thought that was some really, really good information about all the different threads that y'all carry across all of the Hab+Dash line, and learning more and more about it was awesome.
Yeah. So do we have any final questions? Let's see if we have any final more. If not, we're going to get to the good stuff.
I know. Oh, we don't.
Well, this is all good.
This is all good. This is all good.
This is all good.
I think that takes care of everything that I can see right now.
Yeah, so if there'll be questions after, they'll post after, and we will go back and look at those questions and get those answers for you, as well as the Hab+Dash team will look at the feed, and we'll definitely make sure we get those answers for you.
Yes.
After the video post, right?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And you can try. So for us, we do carry, what lines do you carry for? So
here at Linda's Electric Quilters, we carry the Premo-soft line. Thanks to Gretchen. Go team. Shout out. We carry the Affinity line, the Glide 40 top thread, and then we have the Magna Glide Delights bobbins, those pre-wound magnetic ones, and then we have the Magna Quilt bobbins. Yeah.
And we will be getting the Glide 60 in soon.
Oh, we will?
Yes, we will.
Y'all are the best.
All right, let's tell them a little bit about our project. And we'll keep you guys on just a little bit longer so you can learn.
So we thought it'd be a great idea so you could kind of get a feeling of the different threads that we carry, just to kind of see, kind of like a try before you buy thing, before you get the whole spool. So we have created little sample packs that have the mini spools of the Premosoft, the Affinity, the Glide 40, and then the Magna Glide Delight bobbins. That's a lot to take in. So you get an L and an M bobbin. You get a linen color of the Premosoft, so a little 1100 yard spool. Yeah, I should have listened harder. Yes. So you get that one. You have your Glide 40 in the bone, which if you know me, y'all know bone is my go-to color. It blends with everything. It just takes up the color.
Hint, hint for bobbins.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge. Oh yes, yes. I would like bone bobbins, please. The Magna Glide bobbins. And then you get a Christmas blend Affinity So you can get to use all those. And with the holidays coming around the corner, we thought that the Christmas blend would be great for you to take a look and play with it.
Yeah, so and a little card with all the information about it, and it's all for $15.99.
Yeah.
So it's on our website, and you can try all these great,
all these great threads.
Yeah, all these great threads. Try out the glide bobbins if you haven't tried them yet. All for $15.99. So you cannot beat that. Go to our website to get that.
Yep. So it's called the Hab+Dash sample pack. So that's on there.
I'll do that. Corey's going to throw a link in there, and then we're going to start talking about how you can enter and to win.
Yeah, so this is the cool part. We're going to let Gretchen and Presley talk about this giveaway. So if y'all want to go ahead, whoever would like to go.
Sure. So I have over here, I have to bring over these huge cases. So for the giveaway, we're giving away 60 spools of Glide mini thread, and it's called the Royal Family Collection. So the first case, so they come in these great little cases with a little handle, so it's great for storage. And each case has 30 spools. So this has 30 spools. And then we have the second case of 30 spools. So a total of 60 spools of mini Glide thread of some of our top colors. So it's a great collection of Glide thread, especially if you're new to it, or if you're not, it can be added to your collection. And then also with the giveaway is some great Hab+Dash swag. So a water bottle, a coffee mug, a pen, which, by the way, the cap is also a cell phone holder, so you can stick your cell phone here and it stands up. I don't know if mine's gonna, yep, so if you put the cap down, you can stick your cell phone in there. So a little added bonus, Corey, I hope you didn't know that, and I just
What the heck? I had no idea. Now, no, this is mine.
Everybody loves that part of the pen.
That is so party on.
Yeah, great. And then so lots of great Hab+Dash swag, 60 spools. So it's a great giveaway for all the viewers.
You tell them how to enter in.
Okay, so how are you going to enter? That is a great question. So the entering for the contest to win some of these items, right down in the description below, you will have a link that is the giveaway link. You will click on that link and it's going to take you to basically a survey.
Yep.
But in that survey, you're just going to give your first and last name, email, and phone number. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
We're going to let this video ride for about a week, about a week and a half maybe, to let a lot of people get and read it so it's most fair for everybody.
Yeah.
And once all those entries are submitted, then it goes into a random generator. It spits a few out. We send it off to Gretchen at Hab+Dash, and she sends you your free stuff.
Yeah, so definitely make sure that you go to that link below in the description. Again, some people can't find them. Sometimes on YouTube, you'll see a little drop-down arrow underneath our video.
Yeah, underneath the video, right next to the title of the video, there's like a little upside-down triangle.
Yeah, just hit that, and it opens up,
it.
and it tells you all about the video, and the description link is in there. Hit that link. You know, you never know. There's 3 or 4 different...
There's a bunch of different things. So, yeah.
You have the opportunity, so... You know, you can't win. You can't. I can't talk.
Sorry, buddy. You'll get there.
I know.
And then also don't forget to stop by our website and get your sample pack shipped to you, so you can get playing with some of these amazing different threads that were presented this evening.
Exactly. Oh, this was so good.
I had. If
I can, I'd also like to propose everybody follow Hab+Dash on Facebook and Instagram. So if you aren't the lucky winner of the 60 spools, we do a lot of giveaways on social media because we are wholesale only. So, but we like to still interact with your customers as well. So, I like to call it our famous 12 days of giveaways because it's become very popular. It's coming up. So in December, definitely follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Hab+Dash. It's down on the screen somewhere. I'm pointing to either the wrong one or the right one. And in December, we have our 12 days of giveaways, and every single day for 12 days, we give away free thread. And just a little sneak peek of last year's giveaway, on the 12th day, we gave away one mini spools of Glide and one of each color. So we gave away around 270 spools of mini Glide on our last day. So we give away a lot of great stuff. So definitely follow us on social media.
That's amazing. Wow, I might have to sign up.
I know, right?
I don't know if I can, but I'm going to try. I think that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so make sure that you follow Hab+Dash. Their handle is right down below at Hab+Dash. Also, make sure that you follow us at Linda's Electric Quilters so you can stay up to date with everything going on here as well.
Exactly.
Well, once again, we would want to thank y'all both so much for joining us and joining our after hours crew and kind of listening, or not listening, letting the people listen. I'm tongue twisting now too. You finish it. Go ahead.
You don't worry.
No, we just want to thank you guys very much for being on, answering the questions and just being able to
being super generous with these giveaways too. I think that's awesome.
So we really appreciate it, and we just want to thank you for joining us. And now we're going to let you go, and we will take it from here.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thanks to all the viewers. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thank you so much for being with you. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. I can't.
I think you're too tongue-tied.
What?
You are.
I'm a tongue twister. I am on brain overload.
There was so much great information.
It was amazing information. What are you talking about great? It was amazing information. I had long staple, short staple, variegation size, this and that. Whew.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
I know.
I think it was awesome, though. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we did. And learning more and more about the Hab+Dash brand, their history, and all the products that they offer along with it.
Exactly. So definitely, if you haven't tried it out, try it out. We did those sets on purpose for you guys, so you had the opportunity to try them out without having to buy a full spool. It's just awesome. It's fun. Thread is beautiful. You saw the stitch out, so that was cool.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at After Hours. If you are new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
And so you can stay up to date with everything we do here at After Hours.
And share with your friends, too.
Yes.
If they don't know about us, tell them.
Yes, please, so they can learn more about Hab+Dash. We had a few people in the comments that said, well, we didn't even know about Hab+Dash or about Glide.
Yeah.
And we just want to get you more familiar with these threads so you can feel a little bit more confident with it when you're working through them.
And if you are new, we have over 200 videos on our YouTube.
Yes.
There's so much education there for you. It's just free to watch, so take a look.
Awesome.
All righty.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.